figured like we always do, for those that were with us on this journey last year, this is a concept that we had introduced when we want to do our game previews. Instead of just solely hopping to the preview, we first wanted to break down the Bengals. And just a quick overview of what we like about them, 3 things that we like and 3 things that we don't like about them. And it's a wide range. But I like to keep it that way just so that way we got a little bit of context, because every team can't suck. It's the NFL. Every player can't suck. It's the NFL. So you're going to have to find something that you find, attractive about said teams. And that is the beauty in this exercise. So, as we like to do in the chat, we will start with, you want to start with the likes or the dislikes today?
Likes is fine.
All right. So in the chat, drop the 3 things that you like about this Bengals team going into week 1. Obviously, we'll react to that once we finish our 3 likes. But with that being said,
it's basically like a pros con.
Absolutely.
Pros versus cons.
Yeah, pros versus cons. So at least we get that part. And then from there, then we start breaking down, talking X's and O's, matchups and stuff like that. But I'll start this off, since it is week 1. It's the first time of us, well, not the first time of us doing it, but the first version of it this year. For me, the first thing that I like about this Bengals team is that they are returning a lot of players from that Super Bowl team, both offensively and defensively. You talk about Joe Burrow and company being back on offense, the weapons they have there, even some of the improvements that they made personnel-wise, offensive line related. They definitely, I think, help their roster out, but at the same time retaining a ton of those guys even on defense. You look at that secondary, you look at their pass rush, a lot of those guys are familiar names, familiar faces that we saw carrying this team to the Super Bowl. So I definitely like that part. The second thing, I'm trying to think, do I want to do all 3 right now? Actually, I'll go 1 and then you go 1.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it like that.
My first one is their timing / off-season moves. They have really nice timing right now because Joe Burrow is going to be on the final year of his rookie contract, which enabled them to bring in some of the offensive line that you were talking about and really improve. I think their offensive line is actually going to be halfway decent this year. Now, I know they made improvements.
On paper, at least, yeah.
Right. I know they made improvements last year, but it still wasn't average. I mean, I'd still say it was a below-average offensive line. Joe Burrow got sacked a ton. But I think they really revamped it. They might be in the top 15. But it's all about the timing. Joe Burrow's on this rookie contract. They made some really nice other offseason moves like their draft, bringing in Daxton Hill. And then you're right, with the whole roster that they have already, basically bringing a ton of dudes back from that Super Bowl team. One of their only main losses, I think, was Azuma, the tight end, but they replaced him with Hayden Hurst, which, depending on how you look at that, could be an upgrade.
I was about to say it.
Uzoma had a good season last year, but Hayden Hurst, 2 years ago with the Falcons, he had basically the same season. It was like 500 yards or something like that. So, I really like their timing. Like, this is a good window for them. Like, last year may have felt like they were a year early, but they capitalized on it, made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and I don't think too much should change for them this year in terms of their expectations.
Nah, absolutely, man.
Like, they're not going to lose. Like you said, they're not losing anything right now because of the Burrow contract. So they need to capitalize right now because they're going to be showing out 50, 55 plus for him next year. Oh,
absolutely. Whenever the deal is done,
you're not going to be able to keep all these guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Instead of the trio of receivers that you have, you might only be able to keep 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, good call on that, man. Good call. All right, the second thing that I like about this Bengals team is the big 3 on offense. And the big 3 I'm referring to is Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Joe Mixon. When we talk about big 3s, I think that matters. That reminds me of like when we had the Killer Bee era, when it was Ben, L, Bell, and AB coming into the stadiums with the 3-headed monster that you legitimately know any one of these dudes can be the reason to get you out of a stadium. I always felt a lot of comfort in that. And I'm sure that you did as well, man, because that's something that we obviously, have had a long history of having here in Pittsburgh, especially with 7. But that is something that's a little bit new for those dudes over there, man, to have it at this type of level. But for me, man, I definitely like those 3 guys because we've seen at various points in their careers, all 3 of those dudes just stand up and have crazy games where you're like, yep, he's the reason we lost the day. Whether you're talking to Jamar Chase, what he's able to do in certain games. We talked about some of the magical stuff Joe Burrow has done, his ability to just make plays in spite of the improvisation and stuff like that. And then Joe Mixon, I mean, he's, I've been a fan of his game on the field, especially, man. But he's one of them dudes, annual 1,000-yard, 1,200-yard rusher, consistent. Yeah, total package in terms of that running back. So for me, I like their big 3 on offense.
I'm with you. I got offensive weapons, so
Yeah.
you want to include the big three of receivers there: Tyler Boyd, Higgins,
however you want to
Jamar
spin
Chase.
it. Right? Yeah.
They also got Joe Mixon. I think signing Hayden Hurst isn't a bad move, as I mentioned. I don't think that's really going to be that much of a downgrade from Uzoma. They were ranked, and talking about the receiving core, by some of these articles and just NFL databases as the number one receiver core heading into the season. I don't think many people can disagree. So what's not to like about their offensive weapons? You got Joe Mixon, who made his first Pro Bowl last year, and Jamar Chase. I mean, I'd say he's a top 5 receiver already.
No.
I think, we did our receiver rankings,
we did.
right?
I think he was in both of our top. Was he in both of our top
He was
5?
at least in our top 5, I think.
know he was in my top 5 because I think the only difference was I had Justin Jefferson at 6, and I think you had, no, Chase wasn't in your top 5. I think Diggs or some. It was either Diggs that wasn't in or Chase wasn't there. It was one or the other, but they were like right on the brink of it.
Okay.
Either way, they're elite. I got you. I'm with
exactly.
you. Yeah.
Higgins got his first 1,000-yard season last year.
Yeah.
That was in his second season. We know he's a stud. Tyler Boyd, he's consistently around 1,000 yards. He's like that steady slot guy for them. Had 800 yards last year.
There for them too now.
Yeah, we know what Joe Mixon is. So I don't have too much to add to what we've already said because I think it's a no-brainer, right?
Nah, facts.
I think that's what anyone that's covering the NFL would say they like about the Bengals as a team.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I had in terms of what I like about this Bengals team, and I do see everybody in the chat putting in what your 3 things you like. We will address those shortly. But the third thing that I like about this team is the pass rush. When you talk about Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard, those bookends right there, man, they've really come on, and we could see their impact and feel their impact as well with this team in terms of getting them out of stadium, their ability to create that hostile environment at times, something that wasn't consistently happening in Cincinnati, but it's been, for me, just as a fan of pass rushers, it's been cool to see Trey Hendrickson, more importantly, when he was in New Orleans. He was still having double-digit sacks, but it was a lot of questions. You know, he's in a system with Cam Jordan. Is he a product of that? But being able to see him now on his own in Cincy as the lead dog and still being a double-digit sack guy, I really like that. And then even seeing Sam Hubbard raise his game to an extent now where he's producing more out there as well. I did
underrated
like that.
Performer.
Yeah, absolutely. It was more of the expectations from me watching them wasn't as high, but seeing what they've been able to accomplish just in the short time, because like I said, it was just last year when they both got together, but seeing how they were able to literally have some games where those two guys on defense provided that wave, kind of like how we talk about TJ at times, not to the same extent, and I don't want it to ever get confused. But we know that feeling of, man, when you got a pass rusher and he's winning and he's cooking.
And when you have 2 of them.
Absolutely. And that's the scenario for them. They don't have a TJ Watt, but they have 2 really good edge guys. So,
right. We saw it firsthand with James Harrison, Lamar Woodley. And
prime example.
TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, whenever they were able to both get both the edge rushers in one season, get like 10-plus sacks. Now, I'm not saying – because I don't think Hubbard reached 10-plus last year. But
no, he was like, I think 7 or something like that.
Just the fact someone could be almost a 10-plus sack type of guy on the other side of the guy that's already a stud means a lot to a defense. We've seen it so many times. That's why we're high on Alex Highsmith. Or
he
at
went
least
for
hoping,
7.5. That's what he had last year.
At least we're hoping Alex Highsmith could be somewhere in that range because we know how much he could open it up for more, not only TJ Watt, but the rest of our defense.
Yeah, 100%.
Cam Hayward, Ogunjobi. If Wormley's out there, he might be able to get a free sack lane or rushing lane in there. So, yeah, I'm with you on that for sure.
No, absolutely. All right. Now, let's see. In terms of some of the regular chats.
Well, no. That wasn't my third.
Oh,
I'm with you on it. I'm with you on that.
But that wasn't your third. Okay, what's your third?
I agree with you on that. I don't know if this is carryover, but
I don't care. I like when you do this, though.
I said offensive weapons for my second one. So you got a quarterback throwing to those offensive weapons, leading the offensive weapons.
Okay, you better talk about it.
And Joe Burrow's pretty damn good, dude. The Bengals finally found a franchise guy. They thought they had it in Carson Palmer way back when, but they destroyed that. It doesn't seem like they are in that mode of destroying their franchise quarterback right now, even though it is the same ownership. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It is.
But, like, they're really doing everything for Joe Burrow. Now, you could argue they kind of screwed him over his rookie season. Yeah. They just threw him out in the fire, and their offensive line was terrible, tore that ACL. But, I mean, the team that they've built around him thus far, and I'm assuming the contract that they're going to give him this offseason, I already discussed that. I mean, it's built around Joe Burrow, and the
Yeah,
Bengals
100%.
seem like they're going to do everything they can to make sure these next 10, 15 years with him are good, are optimal.
I hope for the player, I hope that they actually do take care of him and not do the Carson Palmer. But as a, Steeler fan, I'm like, nah, I hope y'all mismanage the whole situation. Yeah, blow it. But yeah.
Right, exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
they
I'm
never touched that type of success.
Seriously, man.
For how long? I mean, 30, 40 years just to make it to a Super Bowl. I think we talked about it a little bit on yesterday's podcast.
Right.
It was with Collinsworth.
Think about how long
back
ago
in
that
like
was,
the
man.
80s.
It's people that don't even know Collinsworth played football. Think like dead
Or even
serious, bro.
knew that he was good. He's actually a really good receiver.
Like legit, yeah. But there's people that don't know he played ball. Yeah.
But we know who Joe Burrow is.
Yeah.
He's a damn good quarterback. He's heading into his third season. I don't know if you want to say this is his prime or his pre-prime, but he's good. And the Bengals finally found a franchise quarterback, and that is a pro to their team right now.
Yeah. Not very true.
Clearly.
Very true.
He's
man.
a guy that you want. He's wherever you want to rank him. Top 10. If you say Burrow's top 10, you probably are low on him. He's more in probably that 6-7 range right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You find that, you can go into any stadium, feel like you can get out of it with a win. I mean, we saw it last year against the Chiefs. They're down double digits. They're able to get that AFC Championship win and then go to the Super Bowl because of Joe Burrow. The resilience, the mental toughness, that's all the stuff that he exemplifies. So that's definitely a pro for the Bengals.
Nah, I definitely would agree, man. I definitely would agree. All right, so with that being said, those are our 3 likes. So I'm going to check some of the regular chats in terms of their likes.
Sure.
And then after that, we'll change to what we don't like as much about this Bengals team. This ain't no love affair. Gotta let them know. We still want all the smoke.
Can't be too nice.
Nah, not at all, man. All right, Steel City Stoner. I love that name. Had to start with you, baby. Says the quarterback, the receivers, and the Super Bowl experience is what he likes. Donald Copeland. He says Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, and Joe Burrow. Those are the 3.
Just kept it simple.
Just kept
3
it simple.
players.
Kept it all right there, man. All right, Rod Dollar pulled up. Shout out to you, Rod. I've been talking to Rod all day today. I like that, man. But he says he likes the offense. He likes the safety play. Remember, they do have Von Bell and Jesse Bates.
And they picked up Hill.
Oh, that's right. They did. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yep, he's the third guy out there. And he also said he likes their play calling as well. I wonder if he's specifically talking offense as well, in terms of like the aggressiveness of them.
Yeah. They'll sling it when they need to.
They definitely will. Yeah, they definitely will,
Does
man.
play calling go hand in hand with personnel moves? Because having who the hell was it? Was it Perrine?
Yeah.
Having him out there for like the last two plays of that drive that they needed to get the game-winning touchdown instead of Mixon. I mean, that could have cost them right there.
And he did. The coach did go back.
That wasn't
and
a
say
good personnel move.
The coach did go back and say that. He
said he made a mistake.
Yeah, he was like, if I could do it.
At least
again,
he did that. Yeah.
He was like, if I could do. This was like early in like OTA's minicamp. He was like, if I could do it again, he said I probably would at least have Joe out there because Joe. He was like, regardless of packages, because he was like the package was for him to be out. Perrine dude to be out there, but he was like, if I could do it again. He was like, Joe is our best running back. So regardless of personnel,
you can live with that.
You live with the best guy being out there. I was like, all right, that's acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And I get it. Yeah.
And he made it to the Super Bowl in what? Third season? I think it was his third season. Because he was there before Burrow. He was there the tanking season.
With Finley and all that.
I'm pretty sure. And his third season, as a young coach, that's almost like on a Sean McVay type of trajectory.
McVay or Coach Tomlin, like all them dudes, like you talk about that young having type of success, yeah.
Scott Mitchell, he's got quarterback at 1, 2 the receivers, and 3 battle tested after last year's run. AJ Martinez says, I didn't realize they were 10-7 last year. We beat them once, and it's KC in the SB. I don't know about that. Yeah, we lost to them twice. I don't know if he's saying if we beat them once, maybe that rearranges the whole playoff seeding. And
got you.
Bengals wouldn't have had the same road. And he thinks KC would have been in the Super Bowl.
Did the Bengals, they didn't host, they
were on the road at Kansas City for the AFC Championship.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. All right.
I think he's right, though, and I don't think people think about them being 10-7 last year as much.
Yeah,
they think, they were 13-4 or something.
It's like, they weren't that, yeah.
No, they were only a half game better than us. Now, they throttled us in both of those games.
Oh, maybe he's saying if we beat them, then they don't make the playoffs. And Kansas City's in the Super Bowl. Maybe that's what he's saying.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, I don't know how the tiebreakers would work because it would have been close. They would have been 9-8.
Yeah. But
he might be on to something. That would have been close between like them and the Raiders. Chargers.
But we also have to remember too, context matters. So it's like we know they ended at 10-7 or whatever regular season. But
I can't remember. Did they bench their guys?
I don't know what
game?
the whole situation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't remember any of it like that.
I can't either. I'll read a couple more here. We got Brandon Clark saying wide receivers. 2, they fixed the offensive line in free agency, something we hit on. And then 3, the RB QB.
All right.
Nick Y, young talent. The Joes, Burrow and
The
Mixon.
Joes.
And 3, almost the same team from last year.
Fair enough. All right.
Everyone's on the same page here.
I like it. So now we'll talk about our 3 dislikes. If you could, do you need the screenshot? Are we good?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah,
All
you
right.
go first.
All right. Sounds good. So, yeah, we got a lot of them things. I think they coming in.
No, I'll be all right.
All right, we straight?
Yeah.
All right, bet that. All right, so for me, the 3 things that I dislike. Starting at number 1. I know we were talking them up a little bit. How they were revamped. But I still dislike this offensive line. For me, it's one of those things I just need to see it. I need to see it all together. I need to see it meshing. I need to see it in a regular season stadium. And for me personally, no different than how we talk about our offensive line, right? We were supposed to be revamped. Everything's perfect. We brought in, 2 nice free agent signings. We feel confident our second guys taking leaps and all these other things. But as we've seen, personally, it has not been this smooth, linear progression. It's been very erratic. Some days we look good. Some days not so good. Some quarters we've looked good. Some quarters not so good. When I think of their offensive line, until I see it consistently in the regular season, I don't believe that it's all the way improved. Yes, on paper, you bring in a couple of new players, but one of those guys is a rookie guard that's going to be lining up against Cameron Hayward. I'm sorry, that rookie might be the best rookie ever, but I expect him to have a heck of a time blocking Cam Hayward for 4 quarters. I do think that that's going to make this offensive line not look as good. So for me, yeah, I'm skeptical about him.
All right, mine. My first one.
Yes.
Burrow's injury.
Hey, it has messed up the whole offseason for him, 100%.
Not being talked about enough. Are we sure Joe Burrow is even going to play in week 1?
Not dead serious.
Are we sure? There is no confirmation out there. The only articles you're reading, and they're very sparse. Burrow looks like the timetable is good for week 1. The only
that's it
for sure quote that I've heard, like, oh yeah, he's ready to go. He's been practicing good. He looks like he's in midseason form. Is a receiver. Yeah, I forget which receiver it was, but the players are going to say that. They
always say that. Always,
they're going to say something positive, something like certain. But I've learned over these last couple years of buying into that stuff. Sometimes it's not all the way true.
Yep.
I mean, it gets me, like, say you're a Bengals fan, you're getting riled up, like, oh, look, the receiver said he's good to go. But how many times did we hear here with Cam Hayward and, like, Stephon Tuitt?
Yep.
Cam Hayward saying, yeah, Tuitt, I think he's going to be good to go in a couple weeks.
Looks fine. Running, yep, he's back. Best he's ever looked. All right.
So I don't like that Burrow injury. Not saying he's not going to be Joe Burrow this season or anything, but I remember
week 1 is different. Yeah,
these are separate but similar.
No, they're similar. Go for it. Yeah.
Big Ben had his appendectomy back going into his 3rd season. This is after we won Super Bowl 40. He also did have the motorcycle incident, though. But Ben didn't have the same type of offseason that you normally would have if you're coming in as a healthy quarterback.
Absolutely.
And Joe Burrow hasn't had the same reps. Are we even sure he's 100%?
Well, and
that's the other thing. Like, all right, he could go week 1, but if he's like only 80, 90% is kind of favoring one side of his body, whatever one wasn't the surgery, you know what I mean?
Right,
I don't the hip, the side. I don't know where the hell the appendix is, but
either way, he hasn't been getting hits either.
Yeah.
You don't think he's gonna get hit this game?
I'm still not sure he's gonna play week 1.
Yeah, but
I'm still not 100% sure.
You bring up a really good thing. Like I've obviously been thinking that as well, but they have not said the contrary just yet. But I do anticipate him having some of the growing pains. We'll get to that when we get to like the preview portion of it. But no, I'm with you on that. And for the chat, I did not say it, but drop your 3 dislikes as well for the Bengals. The 3 things that you dislike about the Bengals team. All right.
Very much flying under the radar.
Yes. Good call on that, man.
And I think he was supposed to be back 100% way sooner.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it absolutely because that's legit. I mean, not just the fact that he hasn't.
This has been really lingering.
Yeah, he hasn't had his normal training camp. He hasn't had his normal preparation. You talk about coming off of a Super Bowl. Yeah, but you want to get back out there and get him, back up to speed with the new people that you got out there, the new talent and stuff like that. Now, they will have continuity and familiarity, but you have to practice football to be good at football. That's how it works.
But going back to Ben, now I know Ben's was a little bit more extreme with the motorcycle accident,
part,
but
right.
that was his worst season of his career.
Mm-hmm.
The one that he was coming off the appendectomy. I think he missed the first week, and then he rushed back a little too soon.
And remember, Charlie Batch talked about that on the show with us. He said he came back too soon, and we all felt that he was back there too soon.
You saw the flashes. Like, there was 2 or 3 games where he had a perfect passer rating, like 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. But then there were some where he's like four picks. It's like, this isn't the same Ben that we had the first 2 years. Not even close.
And I don't think that Joe Burrow is going to have a god-awful season, but if he started out slow, and that's the part for me, I think the first couple of weeks is not going to be just this, this is vintage Joe Burrow. This is the guy that we start to see last year. I think that growing pains early on because of him not having the full offseason, not just for him in terms of improving as a quarterback, but also his body. You know what I mean? Like, all of that goes into it and stuff like that, man. So, yeah, it could be a scenario where he is struggling a little bit early on. So, absolutely. I just had that in my game preview, not in my dislikes, but I'm glad you brought that up. Shout out to you, man.
Cool.
All right, the next thing that I don't like, and I see people in the chat already talking about it. Yes, they reside on the outside of the cornerbacks. On the outside of the DB room, the corners, specifically Eli Apple. I'm not gonna lie to you. He wasn't supposed to be out there last year. He was supposed to be the slot guy, but injuries happen. He is supposed, not the slot guy. He was supposed to be like a depth guy, rotational piece. He ends up having to start.
He had a solid season.
He did.
You just don't think it's happening again.
Why would I? I need to see what's your track record. That's my thing. Anybody could do it once.
That might be his outlier season.
I tell you, every time. You could do it one time. You could do it one game. You could do it one season. Plenty of people have done that in the NFL. We can go down the list of the who's at every position of one-hit wonders, one-season wonders. The consistency part, when I look at full body of work, that is not Eli Apple. I just don't believe in them outside corners, man. I really like their safety play. I think Jesse Bates and Von Bell, that's a heck of a tandem. Yeah, ain't nothing new right here, man. Yeah. But the outside corners, man, I don't believe them. I think that is the weak link of that defense. Yeah.
To play off that a little bit, I think Awuzi's actually kind of solid.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the former Cowboy, man. I ain't tripping on him.
The reason that I think that point's really good right now is because Eli Apple is going to have to play in this week 1 because they drafted a dude in the second round, Cam Taylor-Britt, presumably to take Eli Apple's spot, but he's on the IR, so he's going to be out for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Eli is going to be playing.
It's going to be Awuzi, Apple, and we know Mike Hilton's solid.
Right. But Mike is a nickel. Mike is an outside corner, and that's why I didn't say
could we get that Pickens-Apple matchup?
Well, that's what I'm hoping, yeah. But that's why, like, I was specific. I didn't say corners and lump Mike Hilton with them. I said outside corners because it's more importantly Eli Apple. I just don't think that that's who he is consistently. And when you look at the track record of him in his career, whether you're talking New York or in New Orleans, that's been who he's been. Last year, it might have just been that perfect season. Like we talk about things going right, things happening right, him getting interceptions, him making plays. It's like, not saying that he's a bad player, but he's not on that level consistently. So, yeah.
I got their linebackers. I think outside of Eli Apple.
Man, you better stop talking. No, not Logan Wilson. Don't you disrespect my dog Logan like that. That's Let's Go UW, homie, too, man.
Nah, they're good. They're good. But I'd say that's the weakest part of their team as a whole.
Yeah.
You could talk about line. It depends on what you want to talk about.
I don't like the interior
offensive line.
So O-line is the weakest part of the team to me.
But I like the I was talking pretty highly of the improvements that they
I'm
made.
with you.
But I just think they're capped at linebacker. We'll put it to you that way.
Okay. Well, no. I like it like this. So with the O-line, they've improved on paper. I just need to see it in stadium. Same thing we say about our offense line. Prior to us watching us on tape, if we just simply said, hey, we brought in James Daniels, we brought in Mason Cole, they're replacing Kendrick Green and Trey Turner, what would we all just say on paper?
I've been saying it.
It has to be it's a way better offense line, right? But then
agree.
when we cut the tape on, it's not all the way there. It's a little bit more of a work in progress. I feel the exact same way when it comes to Cincy's offensive line. Y'all can tell me it's improved. Y'all can tell me who y'all drafted, who y'all signed. But until I see it consistently in stadium for 4 quarters plus, I'm not buying it just yet. So that's the part for me. But when we're talking about their linebackers, I think, number one, Logan Wilson's a heck of a linebacker. Jermaine Platt, He's a guy, but I don't think he's not nobody that I'm worried about one way or the other. Akeem Gaither Davis, good player, but he's limited. Logan is their stud linebacker, but I'm trying to think what's an analogy, because like I like Miles Jack over Logan. Don't get it twisted, but I think Logan is one of those guys who's gonna have that potential to be a dope linebacker for them going forward. But they're gonna have to bring somebody else there with him. I'm more the third thing that I actually didn't like as a whole. I did have LB talent minus Logan Wilson, and I'm not a fan of the interior D lineman. Was it DJ Reader and
BJ Hill?
Not a fan of them, man, personally. Like, I think they're good players without a doubt, but I'm used to seeing when they had Geno. Neither one of these dudes are Geno to me. So my level of what I expect, and it's going to be no different whenever we're talking about who comes in to replace Cam Hayward when he's done playing. I'm going to have a certain level of what I expect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Is he going to be Cam? That's the question. I don't care about athletic ability. I don't care about upside. I want to know, are you that version? Because that's what I expect. As long as we have a Cam, I don't have to look at DeMarvin like that or anybody else like that. But you move Cam off this roster, and now we're looking at DeMarvin and Wormley and Loudermilk, and we're like, bro, well, which one of y'all going to be that next dude? When I look at Cincy, that's kind of how I feel right now. So that's why I didn't like their interior D lineman talent, and as a whole, minus Logan Wilson, their inside linebacker talent. That was the third thing for me. But Logan, that dude nice. I can't even lie. That dude nice.
Yeah, he played well against us last year.
Yeah, that's Mr. Wyoming right there. That's the OG Wyoming. But before the Moomas. Remember that, man? Yeah, but before there was a Chad Mooma, there was a Logan Wilson. Never forget it, man. I'm a Logan guy.
My last one, Super Bowl hangover / target on their back. Last year,
Talk about it.
they were the underdog.
Uh-huh.
Cute little story.
Uh-huh.
Flew under the radar.
Uh-huh.
It's different now, man.
Oh, yeah. Expectations. It matters.
It's different. And I think Joe Burrow being a franchise quarterback and having a talented team plays into that a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the Steelers over these last 18 years, we always had Ben.
Yes.
We always had talented teams, good teams. We were always going to be in the mix. I'd like to see the Bengals. Let's see if they could do what the Steelers did,
yeah.
and just always be in that mix year
Mm-hmm.
after year. Steelers go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Steelers go to the playoffs. All right, next year we're right back in the playoffs. We're right back in the mix.
Because
It's
anybody
different.
can do it once. Anybody could do it once.
Well, especially when you're flying
Yeah,
under the radar.
anybody.
Now they
You
got a
that
huge target
It's
on their
different.
back. And
Absolutely.
I'm not saying it's not justified, but they come off cocky a little bit.
No, they
Especially
do, yeah.
Burrow as the leader.
do.
He's just having those quotes. And that he might be literally just telling the truth, telling it as it is.
You know, Joe
good
Cool.
luck playing man against us because we're going to do this, we're going to do that. He's kind of right. They got a good offense, but it comes off a little bit cocky. Does that not put a target on the Bengals offense for opposing defenses?
It does. It does.
It does a
I was
little
like,
bit.
he said it comes off a little bit cocky, even if he's telling the truth. I was like, yeah, you're
He
right.
might be telling the truth. I
You
mean,
might be
he
telling
pretty
the
much
truth.
is telling the truth.
I don't want to play man against that. I'm just saying, Deke. I know we're going to get to that in a second. I personally don't want to do a lot of man on that. Yeah.
But it's different now.
It is,
You were the
100%.
cute story last year.
Yep.
Like I said, flying under the radar. No one
Mhm.
really expected that much from you.
Yeah.
Going into the season, I know some people had them as like a sleeper AFC North pick or whatnot.
Sleeper pick is totally different than when you're the favorite.
Sleeper
100%.
pick. Oh man, they got potential. They drafted
Yep.
Jamar Chase, Burrow coming back from injury. Let's see what they could do. They're a fun team, little frisky team. All right, they ended up winning the AFC North. They had a pretty solid season, and they
Yeah.
went on a run. Can you do it again?
Yeah.
Now you got the target on your back.
Because now when you show up to stadiums, they're not.
Oh, you don't think we're thinking about the
Come
shellacking
on, bro.
last year?
Absolutely. And as a person that played with the Steelers during that time where we were going to stadiums and we knew what that felt like, every team is going to give us your best. You can't have a off game. You can't have a okay game. They call them Tomlin games now. I mean, I don't know if they still call them that, but that's what they used to. We ain't got to that.
Did we have
part.
one last year? The Lions
Well,
game, I guess people would
is
consider.
that technically a Tomlin game, though?
No, we had Mason.
That's what I'm
It was
saying.
A weird
It's not a
scenario.
Tomlin game, but that's the narrative, though.
Did
you
we
know?
have a Tomlin game last year?
I don't know. But that is
People would probably
something-
say our starts
Yeah.
for some of these games were Tomlin.
But that is stuff that is real. But you be sitting here, you're playing a Jets team that's trashy. You're like, bro, why they out here playing like they the best team ever right now? The execution is flawless. They extra gassed up. Like, bro, what is this? This isn't the team I saw on tape. That's what they're gonna have to get used to. They weren't seeing that consistently.
and they're gonna have
last
to
year.
play. You know how the
Yeah.
schedule does those flex games
Yep.
where AFC
Uh-huh.
North, you're gonna be playing the number 1 seed from last
Yep.
year's like AFC South. They're
Uh-huh.
gonna have 3 games like that
Absolutely.
because you obviously have division plays, an AFC division, and also an NFC division. But then there's those 3 extra games.
Yeah.
So they're playing the top seeds of whatever division they flex for the AFC North this year.
Yeah.
As opposed to traditionally playing the 2 or 3 seeds and whatnot. And this year, who do we got? I guess we got the 2s.
Yeah.
For whatever divisions they are, whatever the NFL flex to us. But
it's
different now. It's different. That's something I don't like for their sake. Now, you could spin it and say, oh, they have that experience and stuff. But I think it's different, man. I think you got a target on your back.
Well, and experience in terms of being battle tested and experience in terms of having a bullseye on your back are 2 totally different things. Me coming from Buffalo, I thought I was battle tested because we had been in dog fights. We had been in plenty of overtime games and all this other stuff. But I had never been accustomed to as an NFL player coming into stadiums and we knew we had the biggest bullseye on us. I didn't get used to that until my second year in Pittsburgh. That whole first year in Pittsburgh, I'm like, bro, every team looking at us like this is the Super Bowl. This is nuts. In Buffalo, you could sneak up on teams. Shh, they don't know we're all right this year. We could beat them. Now, when you're in Pittsburgh, everybody's giving you the best shot. And Cincy, that's what they're going to get this year. Everybody, until proven otherwise. Now, if they falter early on, it'll probably die off because they can be like, all right, they fools go. But early on, they're going to get that, man. Yeah, we'll see how they handle it, though, man, because it is different.
To Bengals' credit, to Joe Burrow's credit, I don't think he's like that.
I would agree.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm trying not to talk too fondly of them because it's the dislike section. But I do agree with you. I don't think that he has that issue. But we'll see about the rest of the guys, though.
But exactly.
That's the other thing. It's a team sport.
Right, team sport and defense, right?
Absolutely.
Defense definitely has some holes.
Mm-hmm.
And even if Joe Burrow's the guy, like we all think he is, you still have off seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all bad. Like I said, that third season, that was a terrible season.
But let's keep it real. We don't need an off season. We just need an off game. That's it.
Off two off games.
I don't care what you do after that. Just these 2 games, you be off.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want after that. Period. All right, so let's see, man, what the regular chat said in terms of the 3 things they don't like. Then after that, we'll spin the block, get these supers, and then proceed. Sound good?
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, we got Rod Dallas saying 1, cornerbacks, 2, offensive line, 3, middle linebackers.
Okay.
JJ52, 3 dislikes the orange uniforms, Ohio, and their long snapper.
Time out. You don't like the orange uniforms? Dang. I kind of like the orange uniforms. You know it's the nostalgia, bro.
Oh, that's the Churchland Truckers.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Is that why you wore it? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. It's week what? Are we doing this already? It's
Listen,
week what?
dude.
It's week what?
You pay way too much attention to detail for this to not be a coincidence here. Wow.
This is clerical error. It was a clerical error. It's an error. Just,
That's tough.
It was copy and paste. I just took the
That's
hoodie.
tough,
I just
man.
copied and pasted on me this week. I was like, oh, this is the hoodie I'm wearing today. Just copy and paste, bro.
Man, I thought it was innocent.
It's a clerical error. Come on,
I thought it was
man.
just you repping your high school
I can't
team.
get no slack. I can't. I can't get the benefit of the doubt.
You pay way too much attention to detail.
It was a clerical error. I did not know that these colors of all colors this week would mean a little different, you know?
Didn't you say your helmets literally had the Bengal stripes?
Oh, you better believe
In
it.
high school?
You better believe it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh.
Maybe it's a reverse jinx, though. Is that what you're going for?
Clerical error.
Wow.
I'm sticking with the clerical error. Okay? It happens.
Copy and paste.
I just copied and pasted this hoodie. This was on the docket to wear today. That's all.
All right, we got State of the Steelers saying Burrow's health at 1. He agrees with me.
Yeah.
2 O-line, 3 O-line.
I like it. All right, let me hop in here real quick. I got
Go for it.
Kilo. Kilo says everything, and everything. My takes may be a little biased, though. Just a little bit, but not too biased, so I like it. Q says burnt. Number 2, toast. And number 3, apple. Yeah. You see the sentiments over here. Alex Papamichael. Number 1, Eli Apple. Number 2, Eli Apple. And Deke, can you guess who the 3rd player is on this list?
Mike Hilton.
Eli Apple. All right. I'm seeing where we're starting to point to. I like it. All right. Richard Stone, he says the uniforms. Why y'all not liking these uniforms, man? I'm digging the colorway more important. The black and
They're
orange is
wearing
fly.
blacks. I saw it today. I forget where I saw it.
Hold
Twitter.
on, because they didn't drop the they weren't gonna break out the
They're doing the all whites on Sunday
on
Night
Sunday.
Football against us.
Yeah.
We got to wear the Color Rush. We have to.
We need to. But for the opener, they're not doing that. So, yeah. But he says the uniforms. Number 2, they cheat. Okay. And number 3, the rivalry. What am I missing on the cheat? Did I miss them?
I don't know.
I didn't know if that was like a history thing. I know when we talk about the towel, that's a history vibe. I didn't know if they had something janky going on with their situations over there.
Is he talking about perfect? Just being a dirty player?
Oh no.
Relating it to cheating? Taking out our players?
Oh no, it was a lot that
I
went
guess you
ahead.
could stretch it.
Yeah,
Say that's cheating.
Whatever you need, man. I'm down for whatever you need, baby.
I think they were the victim of a Patriots spygate. Like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
No, that was recently.
This year.
That was recently.
Yeah, that was like last season.
That was a couple
the
years.
recording. Yeah.
They were the Patriots
Absolutely.
were doing like a vlog or something.
Yeah, and he's like recording the hand. So he's like, bro, no, record me. Don't record my sideline. Why you recording? You don't need him to be standing right there.
It's not a coincidence,
Bro,
man. Shit happens all the time.
They say coach right here doing the hand signals. They vlogging like this. The camera point over here. Say, bro, at least get my man in the front. Make it look real. Okay. You can't have the camera over here and the dudes you're supposed to be recording all the way back here. That can't go. Yeah.
It's bad, man.
You're right. I totally forgot all about that. You're absolutely right, though, man.
You got any more?
No, I think that was... Actually, no, I'll end with this one, and then we'll go to the supers. Trevin Kincheko, he says, or Trevin Kincello, excuse me, says, number 1, the O-line, specifically the right side. That right side will be going against a Mr. T.J. Watt, and they'll be having Lel Collins out there. We're gonna get to that when we get to this preview. Trust me. Number 2, he says the corners. I don't like Eli or Mike Hill outside, or maybe he said Mike Hilton on the outside. Maybe they convert. Oh no, he says Dax Hill. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He says at corner, I don't like Eli or Mike Hill outside. Maybe they convert Dax Hill. Am I missing something here?
Maybe he's saying they moved Dax Hill to nickel and they put Mike Hilton on the outside, and he doesn't like that if it happens.
Oh man,
Mike Hilton's too tiny.
Gotcha. It was thrown with the Mike Hill and then the Dax Hill. I was all confused right there, man.
Right. So no matter who it is, I think he's saying if Eli's getting burnt too much and they want to move Mike Hilton to the outside, that's still a mismatch for us.
Gotcha. And if they put Dax out there, it's
we'll
going to
just throw up bombs to Claypool Pickens then.
And then at number 3, he says, one-dimensional offense, they take so many shot plays.
One-dimensional? I don't think they're that one-dimensional.
I mean, you saw what Joe
I think they have good balance, actually. They do throw deep. I mean, to their credit, though, they convert on a fair amount of them. They get explosive plays.
Joe Mixon had, 1,200 on the ground last year?
Yeah, no, I thought they had good balance, actually.
No, serious. No, but I do, other than that, though, like I like where you're going with it, though.